Hello guys, so welcome once again to Winneba Classroom. So this is the only learning platform where any form of knowledge is not discriminated against, and we're always searching for people who can help us answer questions pertaining certain issues that were always bothering our minds. We've had gentlemen, a couple of gentlemen and then ladies too here who have helped us answer some questions in the past. And today we are here again with yet another gentleman that we believe can help us answer certain questions that were disturbing us in the past. And he's right here with me. We are coming to start with the conversation. But before we do that, let's go for a quick commercial break. And in our return, then we kick start with today's interview. You're welcome back once again. Today's conversation is just about to start, but before we do that, let me remind you, if you are a returning member, that before you can join the Classroom family, you just have to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that any new video will drop, you will be the first person to be notified. By so doing, after you've done that, if you enjoy the video, just give it a like and share with others for them to also learn. This is a learning platform. Anything you watch here is part of learning, and in the learning process, you don't become selfish or you don't appear like you are selfish. Just share with others, let them also learn, just as you are doing right now. If you are also a new person, do subscribe and turn on the notification bell. If you are a returning member, please do not retry again. If you retry, you are going to undo, and that way you eliminate yourself from the membership of your Classroom. We have the gentleman here without much time and waste. Let's get right to him and start with the conversation.
You are welcome to Campbell Royal Tree, the best hotel in Winneba, close to Winneba Junction and direct opposite the Goyle Filling Station. Among some of the facilities Campbell Royal Tree offers its clients and customers include: number one, we have a serene swimming pool where you can relax your body at any time, swim at any time, any day at affordable prices. In fact, you can come here 24/7. We operate all time. We there for you. Campbell Royal Treat is having an event center where we host every type of event. Any event you want, whether birthday party, weddings, any event at all, we can give you the best facility to host your event that you want to host. Campbell Royal Treat is having a gym center where you can gym your body at any time, morning, evening, afternoon, any time at all you feel. And we also have a kitchen where we offer both local and foreign dishes. Any type of food you want, just come to Campbell Royal Treat and we will give it to you at very affordable prices. We also have a clinic attached to the hotel where, in case of any emergency or any other time, you can go there for the services at very, very subsidized prices. We've reduced the prices drastically just to favor our customers. Call the contact, the numbers on this list.
Mr. Anass, you are welcome to Winneba Classroom. We are happy having you here. Your topic is Ghanaian constitutional analysis, and I call him Barrister because of his knowledge, his in-depth knowledge in constitution or legal knowledge that he's having. So I call him Barrister. Barrister, you are welcome once again.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes. Before we start with the conversation on the topic Ghanaian constitutional analysis, I would like you to give a brief introduction of yourself. We want to know your family, and you are a stranger here, so we want to know you. Yes.
I think, as you requested, I am Anass Zakaria, popularly known as Barrister.
Okay.
When it comes to student politics, over here, I have indeed contributed my quota to the development of the student affairs. So far as UW campus politics is concerned. And my area of specialization in all these political activities is student legal affairs.
Okay.
So that is where I have specialized mostly, because I serve as council attorney, I serve as judicial board secretary and chief justice on some associations on campus.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I would say when it comes to the legal affairs, my contribution is over there.
And your interest is centered there.
Exactly. You can see it in most of the portfolios I do.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. You are welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yes, Anass Zakaria, barrister, is here with us, and we are just about to start with the questions. You know, it's always questions that disturbs our minds. Nothing else other than questions. So we are going to start asking you questions and listening to hear the answers. Mr. Anass, with your topic, we want to define, we want to look at some of the key terms that we can find in the topic. And one of it is constitution. This constitution, a whole lot of people are saying constitution. What is it? Okay, what is constitution?
Oh, yeah, basically, constitution, the word constitution is nothing huge for us to comprehend.
Okay.
When we're talking about constitution, it just refers to some set of rules and regulations.
Okay.
Certain basic principles
Okay.
that are held by a group of people,
Okay.
which are codified,
Okay.
or sometimes not even codified. But these rules and regulations, these principles, are used to govern a particular group of people. That is what the constitution means.
Okay.
So it basically refers to the rules and regulations, principles that are used to govern an organization or a group of people. That is what the constitution.
That means this rules and regulations, these principles and values tells a person do this, don't do this,
Exactly.
and at this time and not at this time. Okay.
So they define how an individual is supposed to live, conduct himself or herself in a society.
Wow.
What you can do and what you cannot do.
Okay.
What you can enjoy and what you cannot enjoy. So, and certain limitations to certain things you can do. So this is what the Constitution seeks to do.
Okay.
So the Constitution is just what I've spoken about.
Wow. Wow. Great. So we want to move further to see what are some of the limitations that legal limitations on the part of electors, people who elect these leaders. What are some of the constitutional limitations that prevent them from holding leaders to account? We are dealing with rules here.
Yeah.
You can't just get that.
If the Constitution has given us right as citizens,
Okay.
we have our political rights. And this political right includes the franchise, our right to vote and to be voted for. All of us cannot stand for an election.
Okay.
So countries such as Ghana have decided to go with what we call the representative democracy, where we elect people to represent us in decision-making process.
Wow.
So Ghana, for example, is divided into constituencies. Each constituency elects just an individual to represent the entirety of the people in parliament. So this individual goes there, represent the people, and also have an oversight on the executive. Okay. The duty of the people we elect as our members of parliament, yes, is basically three. One, to represent us. That is the representation. Two, oversight. To check on the executive and the judiciary. And the third one is legislation. They go there to make law. Yes. So these are the three basic things. So these are limitations because sometimes you vote for somebody to represent you in parliament, and you think that the executive are doing something which you as citizens are not happy with. But that individual's decision in parliament doesn't reflect what you are calling for. For example, let's take Winneba. Majority of some constituents will not be happy with it. But at the end of the day, their MPs have voted. So this is one of the limitations because the people must hold the executive accountable. But because they don't have the direct opportunity to do that, it becomes difficult. They have to wait till another election Before sometimes they will do, they can
another 4 years before you can deal with that. Wow. Okay, so let's move on to look at if there are some levels of freedoms that are granted the people by the constitution.
Oh, there are freedoms. In fact, before we even talk about freedoms, we have to talk about rights.
Okay.
Basically, individuals have some 5 basic rights they enjoy. We have the natural right. The natural right is right which is given to you at birth, by nature. Right to life. You have the right to live. Nobody has the right to take your life. You do not also have the right to take your own life.
Okay, your own life.
Your own life. You don't have the right to take.
Your own.
That is why.
Life.
Yes, that is why suicide is a crime. When you attempt to commit suicide, you are committing a crime. So you do not have the state is to protect that right, that natural right, the natural right.
Hold on. So a state can arrest somebody for attempting to commit suicide.
Exactly.
If you are not, you don't succeed or you do not succeed.
Yes. Assuming I want to commit suicide, in the process, an alarm was given. I failed.
Yes.
When the state can arrest me.
Wow.
Because it is the responsibility of the state to protect that right of mine. Are you getting it? So natural right is right to life, is part of it. Nobody has the right to take away your life. You also do not have the right to take away somebody's life. And you don't even have the right to take away your own life.
Hey.
And personal dignity. Nobody should be subjected to inhumane treatment. No human being should be treated like an animal. For example, you see that donkeys are loaded with luggages. A human being is not supposed to be treated like a donkey.
Why do we see this? But I wonder why Kayano people are in the market.
Oh yes, it is a different issue. That's why sometimes we talk about the inequality or the gap between citizens. Some people have been offered with opportunities and some have not been able to get in touch with such opportunities. So this is some societal imbalances that we are encountering. We'll get to that.
Wow.
Then I talk about natural rights, and I give an example. There are many, but these are some basic examples. Then we have social rights. The Constitution has defined certain things as social rights. You have the right to go to school. The state must provide facilities like schools for you, the citizens, to attend. So right to education falls under social rights. Right to education falls under what? Social rights. You have the right to go to school. So it is the duty of the state to provide you with learning materials and facilities.
Wow.
Right to what? Good health and quality health care. There should be hospitals built by the state. And the state should what? Facilitate the accessibility of what? Good and quality what? Health care. Okay. It is one of your rights. Okay. Social rights. Potable water. The state has to provide you with good drinking water. So all the things that you need that will make your life comfortable as a citizen falls under what? Under the social right. We're talking about the construction of roads. No area in the country should be left without having access to what? Good road. Because it is part of what? These responsibilities of the state. Then we have the economic rights. Before
we go to the economic rights, I want us to elaborate on this social rights. With the social rights, you mentioned the right to education, which government must provide school facilities and all those things. Now, when you go to a lot of hinterlands in Ghana, we don't have schools accessible to the children there. They are growing up in those schools. So in this case, what is happening? Do we hold anyone responsible? Or?
Yes, we hold our leaders responsible because it is their duty to ensure that those rights are granted to the citizens. So the responsibility of the government is to ensure that all individuals in this country have access to educational facilities. By so doing, right from preschool to primary, upper primary, junior high, senior high, even tertiary, those facilities, educational facilities, should be made available to all the people, meaning that they have to spread it all over the country. So it's unfortunate, and that is where we can say that leaders sometimes do not serve the citizens' rights, because these are basic rights that need to be what? Ensured by people with power, people we vote for.
So what do you think is the problem? Prevent or is that the obstacle preventing leaders from, making all these facilities accessible? Especially my emphasis is on the health, education first, then the health.
Oh, most often than not, there's argument about low revenue generation. Sometimes the government is unable to raise much revenue to address those issues. Sometimes it's basically not seen as a priority because certain projects can wait. These are basic facilities or basic rights that citizens have to be made to enjoy. You understand?
Yes.
So these ones must be given the needed priority. At least every community should have a health center. Every community should have a school. Certain projects that we do, even though they are good, but on the scale of peripherals, they can come later.
They don't come first.
They don't come first. They don't come first before education. So sometimes we have what we call misplaced priority. You see, the government, our government, since the inception of the Fourth Republic, most of them are very much engaged in doing some other projects, forgetting these basic ones. So that is one of the reasons, lack of political will. They do not have the political will. They want to do projects that can win them election, not a project that can have a long effect on the citizens. They don't look at the long-term project. They look at projects they can
use to win during the age of sorry. Okay, let's move on.
So we have the economic rights. So this economic right, we are just touching on it. The economic right is that basic right of an individual to be able to own a property. Meaning that you have the right to work.
Wow.
You have the right to have a decent work, not any type of work. You work, you get equal pay based on the type of work you do. Equal pay for equal work done. Are you getting it? So that is basically about the economic right. Right to own a property, you work, you take your salary, right to establish a company, an enterprise, right to employ people to work for you. So this all falls under economic right. And mostly that's where the problem is. So you see, because of lack of opportunities in certain areas of the country, some people are forced to move to areas they think opportunities are.
Rural migration.
They come there and it is a different story. So they have to resort to certain
miserable
work like the Kaya you're talking about. Yeah, it is because certain opportunities are not, factories are not being established in some part of the country, harbors, inland ports, or the type of activity the people engage in. The economic activity in some areas is agriculture. The government all over the years have not been able to put much into that sector, agriculture. So it is really not yielding, it is really not serving the people right. So the people need white-collar jobs. So they have to leave those areas, come to the areas they think opportunities are there. Wow. And they will end up becoming becoming...
Okay, in the case of, I want to emphasize on the Kayayo small.
Yeah.
On the part of Kayayo, don't you think the individuals involved in Kayayo are maltreated by the governments? It's not just a particular government.
It is the duty of the government to provide jobs to the people. it is the duty of the government to establish industries, companies, institutions that can employ its citizens, both skilled and unskilled. It is the responsibility of the government to partner with the private sector to provide jobs. So if we are in a country where the rate of unemployment is very high, government has failed. So it is the duty of the government. That is why we vote for them, so that they can create a conducive atmosphere for industries to thrive, for people to get something to do, to earn a living. So it is a responsibility. And stop, because these are menial jobs. These are jobs that are very disheartening. People are being extorted. Sometimes you go to the urban centers, you see these young ladies carrying a very huge and heavy load. Then you see the amount of money that is given for their services. Peanuts.
They can't even rent.
Some people take advantage of that. They don't have money to even get 3 square meals. They don't even have money to even get a very decent place to lay their heads. Basic things. Sometimes they don't even have money to buy sanitary pads. And I think this is an issue that all the government, not the government of today, but all the governments will have. It is about time we stand up as a country and reconsider the way certain things are done, so that each citizen can be given a fair treatment. Each citizen can be given equal opportunity.
But to some extent, don't you think we can also associate these problems to that of lack of, is it economic plan or whatever they call it? Is it a development plan?
It all falls about the political will. I said in my earlier submission that government over the years are interested in winning political power in the short term,
maintaining power.
They are doing what in the long run will benefit the citizens. So this deliberate effort can be done. There was a time that the national development plan was crafted. The intention is that subsequent governments will come and all their manifestos should be taken from that plan, so that we want to build a school. But this government, this party will say that yes, we want a school, but this is the method we are going to use to establish that school. Another party will come and say, oh, this is in their manifesto. Yes, we want, but we are also going to use this method. But at the end of the day, that school is going to be built. But none of the parties is committed to the national development plan.
And do we have any?
We have a committee that's been established. We have.
Are you telling me we have a national development plan?
We have a national development committee or commission.
No, let's be clear here.
We have the plan. We have
the plan.
It has been done, and that thing is still on the table. In fact, the former rector of this institution, Professor something Adai, was the chair of that committee. We have the committee.
Do you know what I'm finding difficult to believe?
No.
Because we don't see anything, we don't see any manifested, we don't see any results.
There is no political
sign of it.
There is no government who is ready to say, so for my government, I am going to go strictly with what is in the development plan.
Okay, in this case, don't you think the EC or the vetting committee that vets these political parties to contest for elections can also be held responsible for some of the cases?
Our state institutions are failing.
But they're supposed to vet the manifestos before the
Parliament isn't supposed to be partisan. Whether you go there on the ticket of a particular political party
or not,
you are going there to represent Ghana. What do we see in our parliament? Partisanship. Parliament is the only institution that can step its toes and say, this national development plan should be used. Anything that will come to our parliament to us for approval which does not fall in the national plan agenda, we are not going to approve it. Parliament can do that. But what are we saying? So the institution that is failing us is Parliament. Because the executive cannot execute any project without the approval of Parliament. So Parliament can say, you want to construct a road in this town, you want to build a school in this town. Let's just go back to the National Development Plan. Is this stated there? If it is not stated there, we are not ready to approve it. So they can compel the executive that has the power to initiate, formulate, and implement policies to do the right thing, because if they refuse to cooperate with the executive will have no other option than to go according to conform. But our parliament is failing us all over the years, since 92 up to date. Our parliaments have not done anything good for Mother Ghana. And I think it is our time we even vote against all these partisan parliamentary candidates and go for independent candidates. I am hopeful and I am thinking that there should be a time that all the 275 members of parliament should be independent candidates without belonging to any political party.
Yes.
I think that is where
so that
the Ghana First agenda.
But it's very rare.
It's very rare. It sounds almost impossible. That is why we need leaders that will emerge with different orientation. We need leaders that will emerge with different ideas. We need leaders that will move away from the status quo of partisanship to what we call development. That is what we need to be encouraging.
And I think this can only be started by we, the electorates, the voters, the citizens, and me.
We send somebody, you have failed to work, we vote against you.
We are too addicted to this NDC, MPP politics.
We can change. If they are doing well, why not? We can maintain them. Some MPs are really doing well. Some NDC MPs are doing well. Some MPP MPs are doing well. Those people can be maintained. But people who are not doing well, let us identify them and vote against them. So we have the economic rights, which I just spoke about. Then we have the political rights.
Okay.
The political rights, the right to what? Vote and be voted for.
Yes.
So I have the right to contest for an election. I have the right to vote. And I have the right to be voted for. You cannot say you will not vote for me because I don't belong to your tribe or your religion or your region. That is unconstitutional. It doesn't sound well. So far as I meet the requirement, I can put myself forward for an election. And you cannot also deny me from voting just because I don't belong to your tribe, or I'm not part of your religion, or I'm not from your geographical area. So political rights, these are some of the rights that the state must ensure. That is why the Constitution of Ghana clearly stated that any citizen who is 18 years and above and of sound mind, you have the right to vote. You must register to get a voter card, and that voter's card will be a medium through which you can vote. So it didn't say you must be an Ashanti, you must be a Dagomba, you must be
any tribe,
and anywhere before you can contest. They talk about certain requirements.
Yes.
Whether you are a Muslim or not, whether you are a Christian or not, whether you are from Ashanti or you are an Akan or a Ghana Dangbe or a Guan or a Moli Dabandi or an Ewe, you can still contest for an election, provided you are 18 years and above. You can contest for assembly membership at 18 years. When you are 21 years and above and of sound mind, you can contest as a member of parliament. When you are 40 years and above and of sound mind, together with other qualifications, you must have what? Pay your tax in full. You can contest for president. So 18 years to the local assembly years.
21 years
as member of parliament, and 40 years as a president. So those qualifications there is no qualification that is talking about religion, partisanship, or etc.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to, I want to emphasize on this qualifications thing. Is there any wealth qualifications that, let's say if you are poor, maybe this amount of money?
Oh yeah, sometimes when they are talking about taxes,
yes.
It's difficult. It's not. There's no economic qualification. By the nature of our politics, you have to move around the country. It is not a qualification per the constitution, but technically it is a condition. If you don't have money, you don't have the resources, how will you be able to run your campaign throughout the country? You must visit the constituencies. In fact, if you are a member of, if you are a political party, you should be able to have offices across all the constituencies. Without money, how can you do that?
You can't do it.
If you are an independent candidate, at least you should be able to move around the country, move from constituency. How can you do that? So even though money is not a condition or a qualification, a requirement for you to qualify, but technically it is, because without money you can't do anything.
Okay, people ask a lot of questions, this question a lot, like nomination forms. Why is it sometimes, just printing it out, the cost, like in estimate, like maybe 500 cedis and above or below. But they sometimes sell these forms like 15,000 and
it is sad. And I think that I am part of the people who are advocating and continue to advocate that it is about time the state should take up that responsibility. The state should use our own taxpayers' money to bring those nomination forms for the electoral commission so that any interested candidate can go in for it. Than the EC selling it. But sometimes some people, their argument is that the EC will use that to raise revenue, to run their revenue. But I think that there should be some control mechanism. Even if it will be sold, the price, the amount should be controlled so that people who have the qualities but do not have the financial muscle can still also take the form and contest.
Why should selling of forms be a way of generating revenue? I don't understand.
So that is the argument of, and I think that for me, I don't believe in that school of thought. I am of the belief that the government of the day, whether MPP or NDC, when the time for an election is due, the government should take the responsibility of those things so that any candidate who is qualified will go and pick it without necessarily paying anything.
Then if that is the case, if EC want to is it generate revenue, they should start selling their ballot papers so that we can pay and vote. But in course proceedings, I want to ask this question too. Like, maybe
I have another one. Okay. The final one, the legal right. The legal right. Okay. So this legal right has the name Kono. It is the right that allows citizens to access the judiciary.
Correct.
Go to court. All the courts must be available to them. They have the right to be given fair hearing, fair trial, and also they have the right to get a counsel. So when you accuse me of something, I must be given the right to be heard or to get a lawyer to speak for me. When I am cheated, I should be able to walk to the court. I shouldn't be prevented just because I'm from a particular region or I'm a particular tribe or religion. No, so the legal right is a right that allows citizens to access the services of what the law courts and other judicial services.
Okay.
Yeah.
For justice.
For justice to prevail.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So in the course of seeking justice, I'm speaking for those with low economic count or low wealth.
Yeah.
In the course of seeking justice, if someone cannot afford these lawyers and even the processes, and the case is critical, for instance, maybe if a poor person's sibling is being killed, and the murderer is with this person access justice without necessarily using money, so far as the state is concerned.
Yeah, the state, the office of the Attorney General is there. We have the state attorneys. We have state prosecutors. Actually, you report to the police. The police do their investigation. Based on the investigation, the police can what? They can become the prosecutors. They can be your lawyers, meaning that the state prosecutor will take it up
Okay.
to the law court.
Okay.
But sometimes to some people they see that it delays, so they rather go and get their lawyers. But as a poor man, you are a poor man because all this office of the Attorney General, the state prosecutors and etc. that I spoke about, it is a bureaucratic activity. By the time you pass through all the processes, you really get tired. And even these states are even corrupt. Most of them, they would like to be taking, you need to be giving them something in order to even work on your case fast. Are you getting it? But if you don't have money, how can you do that? So I am saying that indeed, our system is fault in such a way that if you don't have money, then you are just a useless person in society. You can't access anything. Even justice, you can't access justice. You cannot be served with justice just because you don't have money. You cannot get a good lawyer. Even sometimes the state prosecutor that needs to stand in for you, if you can't give them anything, they will. Meanwhile, they are being paid by the state, but they will be unwilling to work for you. Are you getting it? So it is difficult. It is not clearly stated though, but this is what is happening in our.
That's the reality.
That's the reality on ground.
Okay. Talking about going to the police first, if I may ask, in the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution, is there any provision there that states that maybe under any circumstance should a civilian pay anything, any dime to the police for them to start checking on and investigating on the case?
There is nothing. The responsibility of the police is to maintain law and order. And that is why the taxpayer is paying them. So when I have an issue, the police must come there to ascertain and investigate the issue. Without me, why should I pay them? My tax is being used to pay them. I am their client, they are there to serve me. Why should I pay them? But most often than not, what do we see? Police officers will require money from you before
they start your case.
This is the type of system we find ourselves in.
Okay, still on that, that's the final question on this issue. So in the case of, in case a civilian faces this issue, this scenario I just brought up, what should the person do?
There are institutions, this is an act of corruption. The police officer is using his office to induce you, to get something from you unlawfully. When you have your facts, you can report this police. They have a police council. If you think that you don't trust it, we have the office of the special prosecutor. Even we have shrines. You can report these issues to shrines and etc.
And take the police
and take you there.
on.
If only you have evidence, because now everything is about evidence. Because that individual will definitely deny. The only thing that can help you is the evidence that you will be able to prove. Are you getting it?
For those of you saying there is no way you can hijack or you can take a police officer on, they are the officers of the law or whatever. Remember the same constitution says no one is above the law, including the president. So who is a police? And the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So the police is just under something.
And both the president and the police, they are all the creation of the constitution.
You see,
their powers, functions are defined by the
constitution
and their limitations. So the constitution is supreme. So any action of any officer, any individual in this country that goes against the dictates of the constitution, that person must be answerable. That person must answer.
So it means what you are saying. It means that it is time for you and I to start reading the Constitution, because a lot are buried in there. We always go ignorant, suffering injustices in the name of is the law. Which law are you talking about? Have you read the Constitution? Any chapter, any clause, article? Well, no more to say. We have exhausted almost all our time for today. If you want to have Anass Zakaria here again, you can drop it in the comment section. Comment but telling me you should come back again. Let us see what happens. On what topic you can suggest. If you don't have any topic, just say you should come back. You are interested in seeing him here again, and we will take the responsibility and do the rest for you. Anass Zakaria, we've almost exhausted all our time, and I want you to give us short advice as to if there will be hope going forward. If there is anything you want to use to conclude, let's hear from you.
All right, as I said earlier, and as you said in your remarks, our system, this is not the system our forebears fought for. This is not the type of system that our forebears sacrificed their lives for. They shed their blood to rescue us from the imperialists. Today, the white men are not on our land, but we are subjecting our own brothers and sisters into these difficult situations. We are suppressing our own people because of the little political power we have. We can change this system when we, the youth, stand up, rewind our mind, have a different orientation, and believe that it is possible. We have to be the agent of the change that we are seeking for. Our change must be seen in all aspects of our lives. Student leadership, we must do exactly what is supposed to be done. Fairness, integrity, honesty, and service should be the hallmark of everything that we're going to do. Let us change the narrative. Let us change the narrative. Let us become agents of change in the status quo. Let us be a source of hope for our people. There is hope, but you cannot do that without knowing the Constitution. You have to take it upon yourself as a citizen to know exactly what rules and regulations, what law is governing you, what law is giving who what power, and what law is limiting the powers of who. You must know what makes the president, what are the powers of the president, what are the limitations. Parliament, what is their power, what is their limitation. The judiciary, what power do they have, what are their limitations. You should know your rights, your freedoms, your liberties, your responsibilities, and you should know your limitations as a citizen also. So that's what I have to say.
All right. Anass has spoken a lot, and one interesting word I heard in his conclusion speech is we must be agents of the change that we are looking for. If you are saying, oh, this government is not performing this, that, everything, injustice is going on, what are you doing? Have you read the Constitution? Moreover, have you made any attempt to change something? At least let us listen to this words of Barrister. I call him Barrister, not Anass. I call him Barrister, yes. We have come to the end of today's episode, and I will encourage you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. If you're a new person, that is how you can get notified anytime we drop a new video. That will make you a member of the Beyond the Classroom family. And also, if you are a returning person, just like this video and then share with others for them to also have access to it. And drop your comments in the comment section as a way of joining this conversation to make it interactive. And mind you, all your comments will be taken into consideration. Nothing will be undermined. Thank you so much for joining us today again, and see you in the next episode. Sorry. Bye-bye.